Well, good evening to you. We are tracking some thunderstorms out there in the storm tracker Doppler. You can see these little isolated storms that have developed. It's a pretty good one there north of Kansas into Edgar County. Another one just south of Mattoon, east of Humboldt, over the Greenup areas. Vermilion County just had a pretty good little storm near Bismarck, and now one just north of Danville, right there along 136, where those storms are cranking pretty good. Now let's take a look here, and you can see additional storms firing back into portions of Christian County there. Here's the thing, where it's not rained, it is incredibly hot. It's 92, but look at the heat index value, well in excess of 100. Look at Paris right now. They want that rain to come their way. It feels like 110. All right, through this evening, a few isolated storms possible. We'll talk about the severe weather threat when we get a break from all of this heat on the warmest day so far this year coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
A man is now charged with the murder of his pregnant girlfriend. Why the judge took extra precautions while he was in court today. Plus, day 3 of Brent Christensen's sentencing saw his father take the stand. What words he had for the Zhang family. And hundreds of books were removed months ago from one prison, but now they're back. What the Department of Corrections had to say when asked why they were taken out in the first place.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
We are now learning more about how a pregnant woman was killed in Shelbyville. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Paul is on assignment. 24-year-old Devin Barger is accused of killing his girlfriend, Samantha Cushing, before taking police on a multi-county chase with their 3-year-old in the car. He's charged with first-degree murder and intentional homicide of an unborn child. WCIA 3's Miranda Meister was in court this morning and has more.
Devin Barger made 2 appearances in the Shelby County courtroom, the first through video to hear his charges, and a second after being escorted from the county jail for a bond hearing. Barger is facing up to 100 years in prison for the murder of Samantha Cushing and her unborn child. Police say he led them on a chase starting in Effingham and ending in Taylorville the morning she was killed. In court, the Shelby County State's attorney said before the chase, Barger shot Cushing in the face with a shotgun in the room of the house they found her in. During the bond hearing, the judge asked for a chair for Barger to be placed away from public seating because of her concern for safety. He will be sent to the Department of Corrections at the request of the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. His bond is set for $5 million. In Shelbyville, Miranda Meister, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Cushing's family is now planning Samantha's funeral tonight at 6. What Cushing's 3-year-old daughter told police about what she saw of the crime. Brent Christensen's father took the stand today. The government has rested its case. Now it's the defense's turn. He testified about his family life and said his son tried to kill himself when he was 15 by running into traffic. Ying Zhang's family walked out of the courtroom during his testimony. He was asked if he had anything to say to them. He said, quote, "I'm sorry, my son was the cause of their pain." He then started to cry into his hands and said his son has too much to offer to die. The judge also denied another request from the defense for a mistrial. They say it was because of a juror who ran out of court during testimony on Tuesday. A judge has ruled documents from DCFS must be turned over to lawyers in the murder case of a mother in Decatur. Twanica Davis is charged with the murder of her daughter, 2-year-old Tanaja Barnes. A pretrial hearing was held yesterday. The details are important because Tanaja was in and out of the care of DCFS. The toddler was found starving and neglected in her home back in February. Springfield police have a person of interest in a homicide case from the 4th of July. Police are looking for Jovan Torbert. He's being brought in for the questioning death of Shanae Moore. Moore was found shot dead in her home on the afternoon of the 4th. Torbert is a registered sex offender. When he was 15 years old, he was charged with the aggravated sexual assault of a handicapped person. Torbert is also facing felony charges for possession and use of a firearm in 2016. Police are investigating a death in Taylorville. They found a 27-year-old woman unresponsive in an alley between West 1st and West Maple Streets this morning. Police don't suspect foul play. We have an update on last night's crash in I-74. On I-74 in Champaign County, a Bloomington woman has been charged with a DUI. Happened between Champaign and Mahomet. State police say 23-year-old Ayanna Britt drove her car off the road. It rolled over in a ditch. Britt, a man, and an 8-year-old girl were taken to the hospital. They were seriously hurt, but should be okay. A transgender woman who said she was sexually assaulted and beat while she was in prison was released early. Deanne Strawberry Hampton was released from Logan Correctional Center on Monday. She was serving a 10-year sentence for burglary and wasn't supposed to be released until 2021. She was originally behind bars at men's facilities before being transferred last year to a women's facility. The Illinois Prisoner Review Board said she was eligible for release for good conduct. Now, a follow-up on another prison. In May, we told you about more than 200 books that were removed from the Danville Correctional Center. Those books have now been returned. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is here with us. Now, Courtney, the question is, why were they even taken in the first place?
Yeah, and Jennifer, we never got a direct answer to that question, but almost all of those books were related to the same topic, race. They were also about some topics about coping with family members who are incarcerated. All of the books, though, were kept in the U of I library at the Danville Correctional Center. They were part of a project called the Education Justice Project. On Monday, Justice Project leaders spoke in a joint hearing before 2 Illinois House of Representatives committees. Those both involved higher education and public safety appropriation. Justice Project leaders say it's really about education. They believe educating inmates is one of the biggest steps toward helping them become positive members of society.
Censorship should only happen when there's a case of inciting violence with the material. Books that talk about history, even if the subject matter is something that people may not find to their taste or to their liking, should not be censored.
The hearing closed with Carol Ammons saying that other legislators will keep tabs on the IDOC to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. As we said last time we covered this story, Ginsburg said this level of censorship is unprecedented. The IDOC director at the hearing was not the same one at the time the books were removed in January. For that reason, he wasn't able to talk at the hearing about why those books were removed originally. Now, there were more than 400 witness slips signed in favor of stopping censorship in the prison system. Ginsburg says she's overwhelmed by the level of support and from the local community as well as allies internationally. Jennifer?
Okay, interesting that the director changed. Okay, thank you so much. Now, the IDOC representative was at the hearing. They responded to the situation saying, quote, IDOC acknowledges the situation should have been handled differently. As a result, we are hiring a volunteer coordinator, reviewing our publication review policy, and instituting an appeal process for disapproved publications. An activist and legend in the Danville community has died. Nate, or Bobo Smalls, as he was known, was 72. He was a pitcher for the Indianapolis Clowns for 21 years. That was a team in the Negro Baseball League. Smalls grew up in Savannah, Georgia, but moved to Danville in 1969. He and 2 friends created the 3 Kings of Peace to advocate against violence in the city. State police are preparing to honor one of their own. One of the 3 troopers hit and killed while they were on duty will be celebrated with a ceremony in Springfield later this month. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Franklin live in our Capitol newsroom. So, Gabrielle, what are police planning to do to remember the officer?
Well, Jennifer, police plan to celebrate the life of Trooper Brooke Jones' Story by engraving her name into the memorial wall. The ceremony will commemorate the service of fallen officers. Jones' Story was one of 3 officers that inspired law enforcement and lawmakers to push for stiffer penalties for violating Scott's Law. She died back in March when a tractor trailer hit her while she was inspecting another truck. She served the state police for 12 years before her death, and state police say this ceremony is all about letting her family know how much the state values her service.
First responders and the sacrifices that they make, and if anybody wants to ever come by and see the Memorial Park, and the state police considers this very sacred ground. So please come and enjoy the park, but just remember it is a memorial to all the troopers that we've lost.
Now, lawmakers dedicated the measure to stiffen those penalties for violating Scott's law earlier this year to Jones, Story, and those other 2 troopers. Some of those lawmakers, along with state leaders, will be at the ceremony. Now, the ceremony will take place July 20th at the State Police Memorial here in Springfield. Jennifer?
All right, Gabrielle, thank you so much. People in one town will have their brush sitting on the curb for a while, why it won't be picked up for weeks. Plus, it definitely felt like summer today.
It's just too hot.
I agree with him, how some were helping people beat the heat so it didn't beat them.